Ho ho ho! Green Giant? Who knows? Maybe. It could be anything. Who cares? Alright, hey everybody. Wrong board. Welcome to Super Pack Junior's channel. It is Christmas Eve on this fine year of 2022. Actually, I'm happy to see 2022 go. This has not been a great year for me, I have to admit. I'm glad to be here on Twitch, but it's been a rough year for me, I have to admit. Had some losses, had some not too great things happen, but we've made it. Got a week left. Only a week left. Starting with tomorrow, Christmas Day, of course. Alright, so let me turn this down a little bit. That would be helpful so you can actually hear me. There we go. Oh, we got jingle bells in the background too, of course. Of course, it is Christmas Eve, so therefore we have a little bit of a special presentation today of arcade versus console. Excuse me. We have two, not one, yes, two games. The two games that we're going to be featuring are two games of some of the most popular games that you find in the arcades back in the 1980s. One of whom you actually still see represented today through its mascot that became popular from that. And of course, arguably one of the greatest pinball tables of all time. And we can discuss that right now, shall we? Let's actually, what we're going to do is we're going to get off this. And you know what? Jingle bells, enough. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. That's awesome. Alright, so let's switch over. Let's take a look at some of the games, or actually the two games that we'll be looking at today. And we're going to be talking about, their various histories. The game number one is Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is one of the greatest arcade games ever. Yes, it's number one. I should have actually advanced this already. It's one of the greatest arcade games, I would say, ever. It's one of my top 5 games that I absolutely love. I've actually bought a console just for this game, for one of its home versions that we'll be looking for today. In fact, there is its mascot that's still in play today. That would be Mario. Originally, he was the Jumpman. He didn't have much of a name. Mario, it's kind of a disputed background. Was he the landlord for Nintendo's building in North America? Was he like the custodian? Who knows? But nevertheless, eventually he became Mario. You can see he has various stances in which he walks and such like that. Here's his nemesis, Donkey Kong. Now, Donkey Kong was the actual star, the titular character of this particular game. His job was to thwart you, Mario, from getting up to the top of the building, and he kidnapped your girlfriend, Daphne. How dare he? And he will stop you in various ways by throwing barrels at you, or fireballs will come running at you. All kinds of dangers. The springboard comes bouncing at you. Of course, you have to ride the elevator in order to get to the top on that one, or at least try to. There's various poses there as well. Rolling barrels. And this is what I love about Donkey Kong. It is still recognized today as one of the greatest games. This was a recent Hallmark, what do we call it? Hallmark keepsake ornament. And it lit up, it played the game, if you will. At least you could hear it. And it's a really nice representation. It actually really looks like the arcade cabinet, too. Look at the detail they threw in there. Hit the blue buttons there. That's what actually lights it up. See the little joystick? It really looks like the arcade game. Really, really impressed with it. I was very happy to get this. Very excited. Because they literally had discontinued the Hallmark Keepsake Ornament Arcade series 10 years prior to that. 10 years prior to that, they started with Pac-Man, and the following year they came out with Galaga, and then it just disappeared. And then they resurrected this with Donkey Kong, followed by Defender, and then Joust, and then it kind of disappeared one more time. But nevertheless, fantastic detail on that. With the side art, the marquee, the bezel's gorgeous. And of course, the control panel, its overlay. They even put in this little thing in here, one play, two play, for the corn mech, right there. That's outstanding. And it was always fun to see the actual thing in your local arcade. Let's see, places that I could play. Well, the one that I actually went to the most often was not in an arcade at all. It was actually in a department store named Zare. back in the 1980s. Got some of my video games there too for my Atari. Yeah, it was always fun to play this game. You could always tell where it was in the room too. It was absolutely a blast to hear. The other places that I got to play it at most recently, sadly, the one of Disney Quest, which is gone now. They had a Donkey Kong cabinet in there as well. Again, played the original. And the Silverball Museum. They used to be the Silverball Pinball Museum. Now the Silverball Arcade, I believe is what they're called now. Out in Delray Beach, Florida. Fantastic place, by the way, if you're ever in South Florida. Go in there. They charge... they don't... All games are in free play mode. They literally charge you for your time there. Depending on what day you are, what day it is of the week, and how many people you have, kind of determines what rates there are. So check it out. It's Silverball Arcade in Delray Beach. I believe the original one is up in New Jersey. They also do the same thing. And of course, there's the original arcade cabinet, the original coin op. And you saw the what we just showed you with the Hallmark Arcade. That looks like to be the Hallmark cabinet too, I believe. Believe it or not. No, that's different. That's a different coin mech. So yeah, that's an arcade cabinet. Okay, excellent. Now, back in the old days of arcade games, they actually made primarily 3 versions of the arcade cabinet. They made the standard coin op, which is what you see here. Then they made a cabaret version. Now, the cabaret version generally is a lot smaller. It will have a 13-inch monitor as opposed to the 19-inch monitor here. But as you can see, it seems lackluster in its, I don't know, overall appearance. It has a very basic control panel, not really much of a bezel. Doesn't have a marquee at all. In fact, the marquee is down here. You see, it's just an overall tones of brown and orange. It looks like something that came straight out of, I don't know, could get coffee out of this. Not my favorite design. That's another look at it. And they didn't even include side art or nothing. It was just basically the game. This one slightly updated marquee, but nevertheless. And this was a more affordable version of the arcade cabinet. The other one, I don't believe Donkey Kong had one of, was a cocktail table. And you usually find those in like laundromats or cafes or something like that. Something you can sit down and eat. Like I said, my brother has a cabaret table. He's converted into a multicade. It was originally a well, he got it as an Arkanoid. And to my knowledge, I believe that was a converted Arkanoid, because I don't believe they actually had cocktail tables of Arkanoid at all. That was kind of a made version, if you will, or at least a jury-rigged version. Oh, I'm trying to remember what the original title was. It'll come to me. It'll come to me about 2 hours later, so don't worry about it. Nevertheless, though, they were fun to play around with, and you usually see them in various places. They were kind of small, so you can actually sit down. You know, like I said, we had a place up where I lived called Theo's Pizzeria, and they had a cabaret Ms. Pac-Man. No, excuse me, a cocktail Ms. Pac-Man. A lot of fun. The home versions of which we're going to play Donkey Kong are the Atari 2600, and it says here, according to its box, plays like the real arcade game. And of course, they give you the arcade games to look at. Like I said, it looked very similar to that Hallmark ornament. And you play that on your Atari video computer system, aka the 2600, and Sears Video Arcade, which was virtually the same thing, the Tele-Arcade. And that's with cartridge, the original Nintendo, or rather the original Coleco cartridge for your Atari 2600. Now, according to the Atari 50th anniversary collection, who was it? Gary Kitchen, I think was his name was. He actually didn't have any cooperation with Nintendo when he designed the game. He actually was brought in. They brought him an arcade cabinet for him to look at, play, and then he would literally recreate the game as best as he could for the Atari 2600. And later on down the years, when the Atari 2600 kind of got a makeover, a facelift, Atari actually put it out themselves under the new Atari 2600 burgundy logo. Of course, they used the arcade art there. And there's Daphne being chased by Mario. And look at this sprite. Oh yeah, that is Mario. Much like, almost like, not sort of, I guess in a fun mirror sense, kind of like the arcade sprite. And there's Donkey Kong. That's a little bit worse. Look at the detail. Again, that's what we had back in the day, though. That's pretty much it. Then we're going to take a look at the ColecoVision version. Now, in the ColecoVision version, they try to actually replicate the game literally pixel by pixel. And they discovered a limitation from the vertical screen, which the arcade game had, versus the horizontal screen, which your TV is. And they couldn't get it exactly right. That's why Donkey Kong appears on the right side of the top instead of the left side of the top. But pretty darn close. Very good version. We'll take a look at that, see how it stacks up to the arcade. Then we're going to look at the Nintendo Entertainment Series version, the original, as it says, Donkey Kong. And see, it has almost, well, that's the wrong Mario, actually. That's the Super Mario from Super Mario Brothers. But what the heck? It's still the arcade classic series from Nintendo. I actually bought an NES just for this one. And I love how Nintendo is one of the masters of marketing. Of all the years that I've been video gaming, Atari is good. I mean, they've been able to do stuff, but they didn't have a quality control. Hence, that's why you had the Nintendo seal of quality, or whatever that's worth. If you had that seal on your game, by the way, they got into a lot of trouble for this too. Atari actually sued them because if you got that Nintendo seal on your game, you could not have that game on any other platform for 2 years, thus virtually monopolizing the title. Albeit 24 months, yes, but it kind of thwarts competition, which is, they got hit with an antitrust, if you will, by Atari, and Atari actually won that one. And what I love about Nintendo's marketing is that they'll take the same game from yesteryear, bring it back, maybe add a couple of things to it, and it's a brand new title. They did it here with Donkey Kong Classics, where they included Donkey Kong Jr. with it. They actually emulated Donkey Kong for the NES for your Game Boy Advance. Again, taking the same game, in fact, the same wrong Mario, and literally brought it back and sold it for a nice, tidy sum of, I believe, $19.99 is what they retailed for back in those days. And then finally, we're going to look at Donkey Kong from Coleco once again, but this time it's the arcade tabletop. Like the real Donkey Kong arcade game. And what I love what Coleco did is that you can actually see right here a beauty of marketing here. They took the arcade cabinet and literally made the tabletop look very much like the arcade game as far as aesthetically. With the bezel, very similar to the marquee, the side art, even the control panel looks very similar to that of the original game. Did it play and sound like it? Well, we'll find out, I guess. And this is what it looked like there when you took it out of the box. Very simple game. I had one. In fact, I had one with my Pac-Man, my Galaxian, my Frogger, my Ms. Pac-Man. I don't believe I did not get Zaxxon. No. So I had Pac-Man, Galaxian, Donkey Kong, Frogger, and Ms. Pac-Man. Yeah. A lot of fun to play. And then for the second game, we're actually going to look at a pinball table. This is one of the greatest pinball tables of the 1980s. It's from Williams Electronics. Pinbot. Pinbot was not the first game to feature a pinball table, rather to feature a soundtrack, but I believe High Speed, also made by Williams, beat it by just a few months. But it does have a very noticeable, very recognizable soundtrack. I love this table. They actually brought this out from Pinball Arcade from Farside Studios. In fact, there's the actual table there itself. Very colorful, gorgeous design. Love the lighting. And there is the marquee, the back glass rather. And Pinball Arcade, actually, for a long time, Farside Studios, they had the license to the Williams and the Bally pinball tables, because ultimately they would merge in the 1990s. And they literally recreated Pinbot for your various devices. They actually first started doing that with the PlayStation 2 with Williams pinball hits or something like that. They had one before that for the Gottlieb tables. Then, when emulation for their solid-state tables was actually possible, thanks what they do with PinMain, lo and behold, you can actually successfully emulate a pinball table because the physics were already there, and they did that. And they had that all the way up until 2018, and then sadly they lost the rights to all the Bally and Williams tables, and that's really quite a shame because you can't find this anymore. It's not available on any platform currently. There is Farsight Studios is the original one. There is Zen Pinball, but unfortunately they have not put out Pinbot to my knowledge. So there's that. And then its console version is, of all things, the Nintendo Entertainment System. And it was actually developed by Rare Coinit. It was put out by Nintendo themselves. And this is the first time I've ever seen an actual pinball table make it to something like this, a home version. And it was actually pretty neat. And I have one of these myself as well. And I will say this, as far as comparing it to the arcade version, you would never think it's possible. Rare Coinit is the folks who developed games like GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64, Conker's Bad Fur Day as well. Yeah, if any company, and they did a lot of the game show titles. I believe they did Battletoads as well. And if any company can do that, it would be them. We'll see how it stood out. Okay, before we get started, we're going to take a pause real quickly. We'll be right back, and we'll go ahead and get started with gaming with Donkey Kong. As I hit pause. Alrighty, my wife's in the room here. It's this little special thing here. My wife's a wonderful lady. Puts up with a lot of my shenanigans. It's funny how we met. Oh, yeah, you got mail too. How about that? She's actually hearing it. It's a neat little story. We met through work. And back in those days, we worked for a technical rescue company, if you will. Let's say that as opposed to Nerd Herd. Oh, what the hell? We were the Geek Squad, and we were the call center, if you will, that handled your calls. If you called, you needed help, you needed guidance as to what to do or what can we do for you. We would literally either try to help you over the phone or we try to get an agent out to your location. And my department pretty much put out the fires should anything go wrong. And it was kind of a dual thing. We not only helped you, the consumer, but we also helped our agents as well. Make sure that they were safe, they got to their appointments okay, and any issue that they had, we would take care of. So we were hiring for new agents. And my wife just happened to be there, and I was the supervisor / trainer at the time. And that's how it kind of all got started. And yeah, she said, she said I was her boss, and now she's mine. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. That's great. Well, anyway, she's in the video that will be at the end of this particular episode. That will be the bonus that's in the description of this video. We went some light looking, and we joke around calling it Light Looking Monthly. And this particular year, as with every year, it has only one chapter. Funny that. So we will get going with that after we do our little arcade versus console. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got right there. On the screen is Donkey Kong. Oh, one of my absolute favorite titles of all time. There's no screen. It's not moving up. It should be moving up now. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, that's the delay. So, brief synopsis of the game. You are Mario. That's the gentleman in blue and red down there who just got hit with a barrel. Yeah, I do. Boy, I'm already getting criticism. You could have, well, for the kids who are our age, yeah, we know who Donkey Kong is, but we may be getting people who've never seen Donkey Kong before. Then they're under a rock, yep. And that is the Mario. You know, it became Super Mario and all those other Mario games like Super Mario Brothers 2, 3, World, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so Donkey Kong is dropping some barrels on him right now. He picks up the hammer, and he gets bonus points for jumping over the barrels, but also smacking him around with the hammer as well. He tries to get to the top of the board to rescue his girlfriend. That is not Princess Peach. She didn't exist yet. No, that's Daphne. And there are 4 different levels to play with 4 different boards. Rather, we're going to play the Japanese version of this particular game, so you can see all 4 at the onset. And let's go ahead and turn down the music right now, and let's go ahead and get this game started, shall we? Alrighty, let's go ahead and put in a quarter. Are you even plugged in? You're not even plugged in. Okay. That's me. There we go. Are you working now? You're not working. Well, I'll be darned. Let's do it the hard way then. Oh, I love that sound. Oh, yeah. And we're just going to play for funsies here. See, the fireball turns blue. Oh, I've always loved the sound of Mario's shoes as they hit the beams there. Oh, go away. Yep, knew that was going to happen. That's what I get for goofing around. Alright, so the blue barrels, those are possessed barrels. They actually have a skull on the side of them, as you'll see when it hits the bottom. That turns into fireball, like that one down there. When you hit things with a hammer, it actually is a varying score. It could be worth 300, 500, or even 800 points. When it starts turning yellow, it means it's about to disappear. Let's have some more fun with that. Donkey Kong will occasionally do a wild throw or two. Instead of going down the platforms, he just literally throws it down to the bottom. Let's see if I can get this blue one before the hammer disappeared. Yep. 300 points. Okay. Now, your moves on the game also help determine how the barrels will come down at you. For example, if you're already on the ladder and you're at the top, it won't necessarily come down that ladder. That was a little interesting feature. But also, when you get onto the ladder and such like that, determines if it comes down towards you. Little game mechanics here. Okay. Those are cement pies. You know, avoid those. They are not tasty. And this board is most often excluded from home versions. I've only seen it on a couple. And the ones that we have today will not contain it. Will not have it. Bonus points for the extra goodies like the umbrella, the purse, the hat. Okay, and that fireball is going to be a pain in the ass. Come down, come on! There you go. Of course. See if I can get up there and beat him to it. I can. Alright. I'm going to forego those 2 bonus items for my safety. Oh, that was close. 7,000 points gets you an extra life. If it's by default. This is the rivet board. This is the final board of the wave. Those are firefoxes down there that come after you. This one you have to remove the 8 rivets that are holding the building together practically. Now, unlike the fireballs, the firefoxes are a bit more clever. And I'm kind of trapped. Let's see if I can get out. Yes. Now, when you whack them with a hammer here, whichever side of the board you're on, whichever side you're facing, they're going to appear on the opposite side. So right now, I'm heading towards the right, and they're going to start appearing on the other side of me. Ooh. Oh, stay up there, stay up there, stay up there, stay up there. Oh, he's coming. Nope. There you go. That's close. Oh, that's sweet. And now it gets even harder. Oh, I'll jump over this one. Well, I have a friend, a former colleague of mine, I won't mention James's name, but he cannot get to the top of the first wave. Oh, yes, you can. Sure you can. Also, it's a good idea to actually, so it doesn't go through the hammer. It doesn't really go through the hammer. Sometimes when you walk towards it, you kind of mistime. Crass. You want to actually stand still when you have the hammer when it hits it, because you can actually go underneath the hammer when it's in the up position, and you're going to wish it hadn't, because then it will kill you. Also, if you're facing the wrong direction, it will kill you. And that's bad. Oh, stay up there, stay up there, stay up there. Okay. Of course. Of course. I cannot believe it didn't go up the ladder. Wow. I dare say I'm pretty good at this game. I don't have any records of any kind. I just like playing it. Like I said, this is for funsies. I'm not doing anything major, or you know, not trying for records or anything like that. I'll leave that to Twin Galaxies to straighten all that stuff out. Okay. Oh, of course. I didn't move left like I was going to. Good job. Let's see if I can do it again. Notice that the spring is a lot faster. So are the elevators. Fortunately, the fireballs aren't. This is always fun to time. The spring comes down in literally 4 different positions. Sometimes it's over the ladder, sometimes it's not quite over the ladder, sometimes it misses the ladder. You can actually score points off of it too. Oh, don't do that. Get back up there. Guard the purse. And he's not exactly safe here either. He's safe right now, because I'm not completely up there. There you go. Rivet board! And the Firefoxes literally suck on this board. I would not be surprised if I do not make it. I would not be surprised one bit. Because there will be 5 of them. What's going on? Dog! We have our dogs in the room. It's alright, that's right. You're in here. It's Christmas! I don't believe it. I made it! Yay! That's my excited yay. Yay! Yay! Raw. Oh wow, dropping 2 barrels at the same time there. He does not like me. He does not want me to keep rescuing Daphne. Jesus. Yeah, short hammer. Ah! You jump over 2 objects at the same time, it's worth 300 points. 3 objects is worth 800 points. This game does reward you. Good miss. Good job. Okay, let's see if I can get the fireball. 800. 500. That's better than nothing. Better than the 300. Come on, come on, come on. Like I said, if you're at the top of the ladder, they won't come down. There you go. This is one of the harder games to learn the game mechanics, I will have to admit, because there's just so many damn variables to it. But it's such a fun game. It has good visuals. When Shigeru Miyamoto developed this game, he wanted to impress the execs. He wanted to make the Nintendo execs like, hey, you made us a big game. They're like, just make us a game, damn it. We just want a game. And he was giving them all kinds of details. Saying, yeah, it's going to be all this, it's going to be all that. And they're like, yeah, whatever, kid. Just make us something. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, gosh. Cool story, bro, indeed. Oh, go, 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 go. Wow. Okay, fun board. Yeah. It's going to enjoy the sounds here. Because you're only hearing every other spring now falling. They're coming down that fast. Fortunately, I have extra bonus time versus previous times. Oh, mistimed. Alrighty, well, 57,400 points. Not bad at all. That will get me on the vanity table. Yes, it will. Alright. And unlike the North American version, I can put whatever. Quite a few characters. But we'll just keep it simple. Pack. That's me! Hey, I made it to the top. Fantastic. So, that is Donkey Kong for your arcade. And I tell you, like I said, big game. One of the best games of 1982. It's a 40-year-old game. Hard to believe. And yet, you can still find it. Now, what really gets me is that Nintendo does not re-release the arcade titles. And they made quite a few arcade titles over the years. Oh, they made Excite Bike. They made, of course, Super Mario Brothers, which you do find. But the home version. Donkey Kong, they made a game Popeye? Yes, Popeye the Sailor Man. That Popeye. Not fried chicken. Love that chicken, yes. Hogan's Alley, Duck Hunt. Those were all arcade games. You did find them for your console, the Nintendo Entertainment System, but they actually were arcade titles. So let's take a look at what you would have as the most common home version. When I say common, it's just that we all had one of these back in the day. And if you wanted to play it, great. But you were stuck with it. Unless, of course, you got another system like a ColecoVision or whatever. So as I load up the emulator here and flip it up all the way up to the Atari. The Atari 2600. Now, 2600 version, like I said, the game designer literally saw the title. He had no cooperation with Nintendo making it whatsoever, and it's a good effort. I'm going to give him that. But but sometimes Atari was actually rather Coleco was actually accused of making inferior copies for systems other than their own. And, you sit back to think about it, well, wait a minute. Yeah, that makes sense. We sell our own console, but we make games for other consoles. But we want our console to be the one that they play. So yeah, we're going to make inferior copies. I don't see a problem with that, believe it or not. They just wanted you to go out there and get their machine. But for those who didn't want to, they wanted everything in one place. Whatever. All right. So here is the game. Here it is. Yeah. Donkey Kong for the 2600. And you can see it has a wonderful title screen, or lack thereof. It must have everything we have. Well, you can, obviously, there's Mario down at the bottom, and there's a brown thing up there that kind of looks like Donkey Kong if you squint and step back maybe about 50 feet. And there is Daphne up there as well. Okay. Not Daphne. Daphne's from Dragon's Lair. I'm alright. It's Saturday. It's Christmas Eve. Too much eggnog. Yeah, Daphne. Yeah, it's not Daphne. Daphne's from Donkey Kong. That's from Dragon's Lair. Pauline. There we go. Prior to Princess Peach. Let's play the game. Can I do a do-over? Not quite. Yeah, that's alright. Hey, I'm fallible just like anyone else. So, fortunately, there's nobody in chat to correct me, so... Let's try this again. So, you hear the doot-doot-doot. This is probably one of the most common video game sound effects you will ever hear. It's supposed to, you hear this like when kids... Are you kidding? That's right, collision. See, I'm using the arcade mechanics versus this, and it's not the same. No, it's not. Yeah, see? Yes. Okay, so, basically, you have to rescue your girlfriend there at the top. We'll play it one more time. I gotta reset it. Yes. It has barrels. There's one lonesome hammer all the way at the top of the board. Yeah, you know what? Asking for it. Still got your 5,000 bonus points there if you make it to the top, whatever points are remaining. And I'm not liking this controller with this. I just discovered that. There we go. Okay, and there is the rivet board. 8 rivets, Donkey Kong still at the top. One lonesome hammer there, top center. And these are the Firefoxes, but they don't go up ladders, so... I couldn't get down the ladder to save my life. You know what? Screw this. I'm going to actually go the hard way one more time. Yeah. The controls aren't as good as the arcade version. They're a bit sluggish, I have to admit. And what's neat about those, they can't cross the gaps, just like the arcade game. But occasionally, a little bit of a glitch will happen, and then they will. This is irritating. No background music. Ah, psyched me out there. Shame on me. But for the home version, this is all you had, for the most part. Why is Mario green? Because he's envious. He's envious that the arcade version is just that much better. Just one of the limitations of the color palette. Oh, thank you. Oh, of course. Wow. Wow. Yeah, suckfest here. One more go, shall we? I mean, it was okay. Like I said, if you had the Atari, if all you had was the Atari, then this is what you had, this is what you played. And if you really, like in my case, if you really want the arcade version, you go to Zare. Or your local arcade. Or whatever. Fortunately for me, the local arcade that I had back when I was a kid... look at that. Old trick I haven't done in a while. Oh, you sneaky bastard. Are you kidding? Because I had 1 pixel up there. Wow. Okay. My local arcade was a humongous arcade. Try this one more time. Now here it doesn't matter if they hit you frontwards or backwards. It didn't matter, it just died. Now my only protection is the fact that I have no fireball there, or Firefox as it were. And they seem a little bit smarter than they should be, I have to admit. Yay, finally, only 4 games. Excellent. So my local arcade back in the day was Grand Prix Racer-Rama in Fort Lauderdale. That's where I'm from. And that wasn't just an arcade, that was an experience. YouTube it. It's Sega World. I wish I experienced Sega World. That would have been a treat. Considering my brother worked for Sega for quite a few years. Yep. I bet. No, we, oh, don't jump the gap. Thank you. Okay. Now, when we went to Disney Quest, though, that was pretty awesome. And they did have one of these in there. Oh, go away. Yeah, something like that. but like I said, I mentioned the Silver Ball arcade, and that is a breath of fresh air too. I have to admit, 'cause they have a lot of. Oh, don't do that. Not too bad. 17,900. They do very good with pinball. It's when we were all there. What before the pandemic, sadly. For Elsie and I, for us to go there, it was kind of a mixed thing because yay, we're playing our favorite games, playing our favorite arcade games, and our favorite pinball tables. But then we're playing the game and we're like, okay, this is wrong with it. The solenoid is not, it's not reacting properly. The jets are kind of sticky, that type of thing. And well, it's like, well, yeah, it's like where he worked. Hey, why do you have your centipede on the hardest level or hardest setting? Huh? Yeah, you don't. They didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's the Atari 2600 Donkey Kong. Oh, what memories! What memories! I have 138 frame drops. Ah, how about that? We're going to switch gears here in just a second. I'm going to hit pause, and then we'll be right back. I love dogs. I really do. If you haven't heard from my previous broadcasts, I have two dogs. They are absolutely adorable. They're wonderful. They are actually on Discord and How to Be Quiet's Discord. Dress them up slightly for the holiday season. The German Shepherd is Macy, and we've had her for about 8 months now. She's about 2 years old. And Dusty, our Rhodesian Ridgeback slash Blackmouth Cur, yeah. He's about 10 years old, we estimate. We've had him for about 7 years now. This is his 7th Christmas. It's been a lot of fun. Love them both. Doggies are the best. The best, in my humble opinion. Alrighty. Next up for display is the ColecoVision's Donkey Kong. Now, what was neat about this one, you got this with your ColecoVision. They wanted you to buy ColecoVision. They packed it in what they thought was their best game, Donkey Kong. And why not? And honestly, yeah, it was that much more superior to that of the 2600 version. Absolutely. So they gave you the skill sets, 1, 2 players, etc. 1's easy, 2's hard, 3's harder, 4 is a bitch. Unrealistic, sure. We're just going to go for 1, shall we? So, again, they try to make a pixel-perfect version. You'll see that here in just a second. Mario looks correct. Donkey Kong, kind of. Let me turn that down, because I forgot how deafening that is. But it's pretty darn close. We grab the hammer. I said we grab the hammer. Grab the stupid hammer. As you see, the barrel goes right into Mario, as opposed to the hammer. Because they kind of got this mechanic wrong, but whatever. Had a little thing here too. If you press twice going up on the ladder, you sped up the ladder. Okay. Oh dear. I suddenly lost control. Let's try it one more time. There we go. Thank you. Only 6 rivets. Again, try to make it pixel perfect. Accurate size. It's a bit harder than I remember. Are you kidding? Pretty good version, I will say this. It doesn't play exactly like the arcade game. And that's rarely ever the case anyway. Oh, there's the elevator board. Really? Okay. Okay, there is one too many fireballs on this board, I see. Probably make up the fact there's no spring. Are you kidding? A little sluggish on the controls still, compared to the arcade game. Still, it is that much better. Would I buy a ColecoVision for this one? I didn't buy it for this. I got the ColecoVision a bit later. It was already established this was out there. There was other games that I wanted for the ColecoVision instead. Come on. One of which was Star Wars the arcade game. But that's another story for another day. Oh, what a... I am royally sucking here. Oh, Star Wars the arcade game for the ColecoVision was absolutely wonderful. Oh yes. 7,700 points, not too great. We'll try one more time. But if you haven't played it, it is the one to get. Not too many home ports of that particular title, I will say. Nevertheless. Come on. There we go. Love how they try to imitate Mario's walk there. And to be fair, in the earlier arcade boards, there were only 2 notes. Actually, in the original, it was 1 note, then 2 note, then 4 note. They also had a decent Star Trek, the Battle Simulator, made by Sega. Actually, even the home versions were made by Sega, which was really cool. Watch this. Comes right on down. I knew it. I set myself up. I suck. Come on, Mario. Let's go get Pauline. Come on. No. Ah. Oh. At least give me points. Ah. Wow. Okay. Completely missed the hammer. I'm surprised that did not hit. Alright. Let's just throw all the fireballs at me all at once. At least I had the hero music for the hammer. So weird. I'm surprised I got that one. Oh, thank you for clearing the way. I appreciate it. All right. Well, I got points for it, just didn't get any sound for it. Okay, no acknowledgement. Just go down the damn ladder, come on. Kidding? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I'm surprised I didn't get killed with that one. Okay, I don't mind the fireball here. Is this supposed to be there? I do mind the fireball there, though. Yeah, shut up. Really? Yeah. I really mind that fireball there. Again, it lacks the spring. It's arguably, probably why it's there, but still. Of course. Just stay there. Yep, just make it. There you go. I actually think they made it harder than the arcade game. Probably was not their intention. Let's see, what are you doing? Let's run into it. There you go. Come on. Absolutely. Come up right behind me. Not taking any chances. Suspiciously, yeah, I'm about to say, where's that fireball? It's right there. I landed on it. Are you kidding me? Ugh. Stupid physics. Collision detection. Come on. Whoop. That one went, but... Okay, I'm not gonna argue that one. I'll take it. Go, 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 go. And watch you throw like one barrel every second. Almost. Yeah, we're taking the hammer. F it. Oh, no, you don't. Knew that was going to happen. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Back to the rivet board. Again, the conveyor belt board where the cement pies are, this is missing. It at least had the spring, it had the elevator board. Wow. Had the elevator board, but it didn't have the springboard to go with it. Last life, folks. Launch all 3 of the fireballs right at me. 4 fireballs. Oh, there you go. Play that kind of game with me. Let's... Oh, yeah? Oh, wow. No, 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 no. Stay down there. Fine. Okay. This is a guaranteed death, so... There you go. 25,900 points. I'll take it. As, yep, I'm about to say, the bonus keeps counting down. Very good version. It certainly was worthy to get a ColecoVision for it. ColecoVision actually touted itself as the arcade at home. I will agree with that to an extent. It had a lot of great titles to it. It had a lot of great titles that really missed the mark on the 2600. Games like Burger Time, Popeye. Star Trek was actually pretty good on all platforms, so I'm not going to get into that one. But again, Zaxxon, if you had it for the 2600, not even close to the arcade game as far as the 3/4 view and anything like that. Donkey Kong Jr. royally sucked on the 2600, but this the Coleco, and it wasn't that great on the ColecoVision, I have to admit either. It was a lot harder. This was a fine title. Alright, we're going to one more time, actually a couple more times. We're going to switch up, change gears. I hit pause. We'll be back. Alrighty. Okay. Next one up. Play some Donkey Kong. Surprising. Donkey Kong. You're kidding. No, really. Really playing Donkey Kong. Never would have guessed that. Here it is. Okay, so the NES rolls out, practically saves the video game market from crashdom. That happened a couple of years prior to that. Nintendo has a great history with getting the Nintendo Entertainment System, out and about and in people's homes. Basically, it was designed like a VCR, believe it or not. That's why they didn't call it a video game console, by the way. They call it an entertainment system. And for the NES, you open the lid, you put in the cartridge, you press down. Very similar to that of the VCRs at the time, video cassette recorders. Yeah, and then you have to blow onto the cartridge so it would meet the connectors. Oh, the thing had design problems left and right, but still, it's the thing that saved video games. And I got my NES for this thing. Donkey Kong! Oh, yes. Donkey Kong for the NES was a gorgeous facsimile port of the arcade title. Not perfect, but nevertheless, still there. Loved it. Look at that. There's Mario one more time, down at the bottom. There's the fireball that we've come to know and love, the oil can at the bottom. Pick up the hammer, get your bonus points. Now, unlike the arcade game, the bonus points are 500 for the hammer, regardless of what it is. The items, the extra items you pick along, like the hat, the purse, whatever, they're 800 points. Jumping over barrels are 100 points, and the fireballs are worth nothing because you can't jump over them. Not sure I like that. So, shall we get started? I think so. It at least had that. Similar sounds to the arcade title, not quite exactly the same. The chipset's different. Don't have the same pokey chips. Did I hit the wrong button? I sure did. Gotta try that again. I walked right into it. Okay, I did hit the wrong button. Good job! Similar game mechanics, not quite the same. Like the barrel drop that Donkey Kong would do at the start of the title. There's one of two versions. There's one that goes straight down and one that goes zigzagged. That's about it. The hammers don't appear in the correct spots. That's okay. This is a fun board. Always love this board. This is, in my opinion, the closest version to the arcade table, or to the arcade version, I should say. It has nearly everything right. Sounds a little bit off, but again, like I said, it's a different chipset. But I loved it. Here's a rivet board. There's a Firefox there in the upper right. So, bonus items are 800. Regular items are 100. Things whacked by the hammer are 500. So it kept a fairly even scoring system. No randomness. And unlike the ColecoVision version, you kind of have to make sure the hammer does indeed contact the opponent. Otherwise, it will not hurt them. Watch this. Coming right on down, just as it disappears. Yep. Bastard. Ah, see that? Showed you. There you go. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy, absolutely. Doot, doot. Doot, doot. Level 2. A little bit harder. More barrels drop down faster. You notice that Donkey Kong, he has a little bit of a pattern here himself. He will do his chest thumping, but he does one less, and then he rolls a barrel. And the reason being, that's just because it gets more barrels down there, it makes it a little harder. Ah, see, I should have done that. Yeah. Then I buy my hammer. Oh yeah. And it is ad nauseum, the same 3 levels, rather 3 screens over and over again for each level. They just get progressively harder. I play a pretty good Donkey Kong, I have to admit. This is one of the neatest titles there. It's similar to that of Pac-Man, where, yeah, it had its own breakfast cereal, yeah, it had its own cartoon, believe it or not. Board game, which, you know, you can make for whatever it is. It even had a song from Buckner and Garcia, Do the Donkey Kong. And a little bit of trivia, Donkey Kong was first voiced by Soupy Sales, legendary comedian. And of all people, Mario was first voiced by Peter Cullen. Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen. Yeah, Donkey Kong roll out, sure. Donkey Kong, roll out. Alright, what do we got here? Everyone... Yeah, well, one shelf. Well, no one's falling here to the... Screw you. Yeah, these are too smart. What's the point of having a hammer there if no one's going to come there and run into it? Okay, I see a problem with this. Remember when I said fireballs are worth 0? They don't have a scoring chart, so... Okay, well. Oh, you made that so easy. Thank you. It's just such a likable game. I was quite tickled that Hallmark did indeed make a keepsake ornament. I hit the wrong button again. How could I do that? Keepsake ornament. But I really wish Nintendo would bring back out their arcade games for their virtual arcade, currently for the Switch. It's been out for a while. Ah, jeez. Yeah. That's close. Hey, me taking my chances. Oh, come on. That's it. Alright. I'm not one who will stand there and just literally jump barrel after barrel after barrel. I don't necessarily go for points like that. I've seen some strange Donkey Kong game playing over the years, where they literally risk their butts for that 100 points, and rightly so. Is the object for any of these games back in the day is to beat your high score, get as idiot, to get as high as you can. Last life. And I'm not one of those players per se. I just like playing the game. You learn skills, you learn how the game plays just simply by playing it repeatedly. You know what you can get away with and what you can't. Simply because you can just play the game. I'm not gonna make it. Yep. Went up the wrong one. Alright. 41,700 points. Not too shabby. Not too shabby whatsoever. This game does indeed stack up to the arcade game very easily. Why not? It's from the same manufacturer. I'm not sure whether this was actually programmed by Sir Miyamoto, but it wouldn't surprise me if it weren't, just because. Nintendo kind of did some changes in their infrastructure post the game crash. But they brought everything back. They literally saved video games. And it's funny, they dropped out of the arcade market. One of their last arcade games is indeed Super Mario Brothers, versus Super Mario Brothers, for that matter. But a very good title nonetheless. So let's switch it up. We have more gameplay. You okay over there? Yeah, alright. This last one we're going to be playing here, literally, I cannot play now. Steam, whatever reason, the Twitch Studio, the Twitch Studio actually crashes the emulator. And it does that with a couple of these, so I had to record this in advance. This is the Coleco Tabletop Edition. Now, like I said before, aesthetically, it is quite pleasing. It looks like the arcade cabinet. From everything head to toe, from the marquee to the bezel to the control panel overlay, you name it. But the technical limitations of the time notwithstanding, you could not get an arcade perfect representation based on the technology. That's because they use an LED type screen. So no, you will not get a perfect version. Nonetheless, they're collectibles today. I have 5 of them. 2 of which I have, I have 2 Pac-Man, a Galaxian, the Donkey Kong, Ms. Pac-Man, and a Frogger. I think I'm missing Zaxxon and I'm missing Donkey Kong Jr. Nevertheless. So, put it there on the mini screen. There it is. And you can take a look, there's basic similarities. There's Donkey Kong at the top, although he's rather small. There's Pauline at the top saying help. And here's the regular girders and everything like that. And you can see they're missing gaps. The ladders are not complete on some of them, etc. So let's go ahead and hit play. All right. Now, as far as the emulator, the controls are really sloppy on this because I've literally fall off the platform twice, at least. Everything here is 200 points, so there's no 100 for this. The hammer is useless; it's just an item. Again, a technical limitation. Yep. You get your bonus, no countdown, so it's just 1,000 points for the first one. Then wave 2, 2,000, wave 3, 3,000, etc. The rivets. You jump over the rivets, they will not knock them down. You literally have to walk over them. Those are now fireballs because they have the little fire crowns at the top. Alright. I walked back over the rivet, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, it's missing the rivet, so I died. Haha! Great. If there's an extra life, I don't believe I found it. I think it's 20,000, but it's so hard to get to 20,000. It's not 10,000. And of course the sound's nothing like the arcade game. Again, technical limitation. But for what it is, for what it's worth, and what the, it's 1982 for crying out loud. The year that brought a CT. It is what it is. Valiant effort on Coleco's part too. And like I said, they sold a ton of these. I mean, this dumbass has 5 of them, for Christ's sakes. And they were cool. They were cool. So, as far as stacking up to the arcade original, of course not. It's a novelty. I mean, for what it is, it's a playable novelty. A very playable novelty, but you would never confuse this with the arcade game by any means. I mean, unless you look at the outside of the cabinet and say, oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, of course. 9,000. My best score. Yay! For those of you just joining in, thank you for viewing. Appreciate it. Try to see if I can beat my better score. Or better my score. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to do it that way. It like I said, it was cool. I love this. Now, my dad didn't mind this one so much. My dad was not a big fan of video games. Yet his friend is responsible for getting me involved in video games. He wasn't annoyed so much by this one because it was quite silent in compared to the other ones that I had. Pac-Man and Galaxian annoyed the hell out of him, particularly Galaxian, with the screaming spaceships when they fly down towards you. It had a bit of a Bizzo speaker there, and it screamed down coming at you. Incredibly loud. Yeah, see, I fell off the thing there. Pac-Man had an extraordinarily annoying siren, if you want to call it that. Both were quite loud. Donkey Kong, not so much. He didn't mind. Yeah, I suck. But 9,000 is still my best. It was, like I said, it's the novelty. It was pretty cool. And when all the video game market crashed on its face in 1983, all these kind of went wayside as well. Coleco went on to find other things to manufacture. They ultimately started manufacturing Cabbage Patch Kids. And that's kind of what saved their butt for a while. Oh, the sound went off on this one, of course. Yeah, see, like I said, for whatever reason, this particular emulator does not like things that record. And this video capture here, well, it still records, but it doesn't have anything left with it. So, that's that in mind. Just put the music in the background. So I'm up to 1,800 points, 2,000. It was a good effort on the Coleco's part. They ultimately went out of business through mismanagement, financial woes. Things can't last forever. They had outstanding video game equipment, though. ColecoVision is easily one of my favorite things of the first and second generation of video gaming. It's a fun thing to have, and if you had one, you know, hey, you're really serious about this kind of crap. Because, you know, everyone had the Atari, but not everyone had a ColecoVision. And I have to admit, I am watching me play this, and looking at it from the hindsight now, I actually did pretty good here. I love when Donkey Kong, his arms are up like that. That always struck me funny for whatever reason. Yep, that's a losing stance. Huh? I surrender? Well, fool. You know, it's Christmas Eve. This is my favorite time of the year. It's hard to believe that Christmas is just literally hours away, and yet it seems so far away. And it will again. My dad's logic to that. May he rest his soul there. See if I can get 10,000 here. I think I actually do. Oh yeah, you can actually just stand there on the ladder. On the top part of the ladder, they will actually go right by you like that. And I finally move on when the time's up sound there hits, and then I go up there, and now I'm at the 10,000 point, but no extra life. Oh no. So I think it's 20,000 on this one. That's okay. On Pac-Man, you had an extra life of 10,000, just like the arcade game, but you have quite a few limitations running against you, like less dots. The ghosts are only worth half their points. There are no bonuses. It took easily a good 5-6 screens, if you know what you're doing, to get to 10,000, as opposed to in the arcade game. Wow. Can't believe I survived that. Just the one screen. So weird seeing this. Oh, I love it. Yeah, was not going to get out of that one. So anyway, that's Donkey Kong for the Coleco Arcade Tabletop Edition. Does it stand up? Yeah, in a way. Yeah, in a way it does. With childhood stuff, sure. That's the end of the thing. We'll leave it at that. We're going to switch up to our next game here. That would be Pinbot. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Just as a reminder, if you like what you see, give me a follow, will you? Greatly would appreciate it. Lets me know I'm actually doing okay. Arcade versus console ×2 today. That's right, we have a second game, which we don't usually do. Now, this is unusual because it's a pinball table. I don't actually have the pinball table. I wish I did. Having actually worked on them with my brother, they are monsters when it comes to maintenance and repair. But they're also works of art. They're wonderful. When they're up and running and doing as they should, they're absolutely fabulous. Wonderful. But when something breaks on them, oh my god. The older tables too, because a lot of the parts aren't easily as replaceable anymore. Especially with the EM tables, the electromagnet tables. But now they put LED lights in them and so forth like that. You just get what you can, and it's a wonderful experience. There's nothing like playing the real thing. Farsight Studios came out with Pinball Arcade, as I mentioned at the top of the show. They do a damn good job of simulating the pinball experience through emulation, just like MAME for your arcade games. There's a MAME out there for pinball tables as well. And Farsight Studio also uses emulation technology to give you the most realistic experience to the pinball table. But the problem with that is, though, they lost the license to this one. They lost the license to all their Williams and Bally tables, and that's really a shame, because they were with them for a long, long time. So I played this on my phone because it's like the best way to do this here. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right here. There it is. So this is previously played. This is Pinbot for the Android devices, and whether it be your tablet or your phone or whatever like that, they did a marvelous job of getting Pinball Arcade to your home in one way or the other. So let's take a look at this one, shall we? And there it is. Now I chose this one because it actually shows the top of the table like if you're looking down on it per se. So pardon the vertical screen. As you can see, it's all there. The lighting, the sounds, the physics. And the object is to open up the visor so you can shoot the pinballs into the helmet and give Pinbot some sight. Sounds kind of grotesque when you put it that way, but that's it. Get all kinds of bonus points for all kinds of things. You hit the 3 targets there on the left side there. That'll give you a shot to the sun. Ultimately, that'll move you up 1 notch. Go up that ramp. That is the bonus multiplier. Multiply your bonus points at the end of your particular ball. Okay, there goes the visor. It's now going up. Okay, so now you have a second ball there, and if you shoot it in the helmet, or if you do that, well, it's not so good. If you shoot it into the helmet there, that will get you your multi-ball. And then you try to do the solar eclipse where you shoot 1 ball back into the visor, and then try to get a multiplier by going up that ramp. If you do a crap-ass job, well, on the 3rd ball, it will try to give you an extra life, or an extra ball rather, but you have to roll over the target when it's lit. That is a bit of a challenge. Every time you hit a bumper, it moves it. Here we go, multi-ball. And it does like the drain in those side exits, I tell you. Oh, that's bad. Okay, well, so much for that. Also, another way you can advance to the sun, there's a green target there on the right side of the table. If you roll onto the jet that's on there by the left bumper, it'll activate that, and you can actually move 1. The flashing one, I believe, is Jupiter. That'll get you an extra ball. Oh, I missed it. Ah. Yeah, but not for long. I can still get an extra ball here. I just did. Easy come, easy go. I love the sounds of this table. I've always loved Williams' sound department. It used to be headed up by a gentleman by the name of Eugene Jarvis, and he's the man who actually came up with Defender as an arcade title. And Robotron 2084, marvelous designer. It's just the sound. They always excelled at their sound, at their appearance. Easily one of the best arcade game manufacturers, whether it be a video game or pinball table. They've been doing it for a long, long, long time. And easy again. I got it in there this time, but it's too late. Yep. That's too bad. Fortunately, I'm playing for funsies. And it locks up there. Yep. That's frustrating. Good table. This was such a delight to play in the arcades. But again, they're a beast as far as maintenance. Hello there. Are you enjoying the show? Yeah. Okay. We're almost to the Christmas video. That'll be alright. Hey, we both are in it. You get to see us both in it, so of course not. Okay. Hook up. That's the end of that video. Alright, so that is it. I'm going to show you just one more here. That's not it. No, that's true. I can't. This is a homebrew, if you will. Does not show the scoring table. This is from VPX. It's more fan-made, but I dare say this is quite accurate. Again, crashing emulator. I gotta work on that. I gotta get a better computer. It's that simple. Christmas is coming. Oh my goodness! Come on. And you know that side exit, that side drain is always a pain in the ass. Now they made 3 Pinbot tables in total. The second one was the Bride Pinbot. Actually, it's called the Machine, the Bride Pinbot. And it's still, you still give her a sight, but a few extra things as well. You give her a voice. It's a bit harder too. They have some extra objectives to it. And then the third table was called Jackpot, and there's a slightly larger version of this table. And it has the same thing, the same ramp, the same visor, and all that kind of stuff, but it's more casino themed. And look at that! I got it back into the shoot track. I still have an extra life available, or extra ball rather. And once again, I'm going to get it in there. And every time I do that, by the way, that multiplies my vortex. The vortex is that little thing there at the top right, where you get bonus points as a skill shot. 5, 100,000, or 20,000, respectively. And everyone needs a big vortex in their life. Oh, I missed the extra life. Yeah. And somehow missed the visor. What? There you go. Damn straight. Go. That's like a 6-time multiplier now on the vortex. Can't see the score. Okay, another multiplier. Oh, went down to the hole there, where all the bumpers are. The extra ball still available. Oh, go. How did it miss that? Missed it again. There you go.
Now I see you.
Oh, I love the lighting on the table, too. And it's surprising what you can do with pinball flippers there. This is very basic control. It's just a lever. Yeah, screwed up on that one. But because of the rubber that surrounds the actual flipper, you can literally stop a ball if you just hit it right, like I did there. Now the visor goes back up.
I am in your control.
Sure are. Okay. I actually missed a skill shot. Good job. That's not easy to miss the skill shot with that one, I have to admit. That's a skill, alright, but not the kind you want. Oh, that shit went in. I got the extra ball. There's now another extra ball in there. Oh, too late. Yeah, but it's too late. Ball's already gone. Nope, not gonna. There you go. Extra ball. Yay! And I just lost it. And the score just gave me a replay. That's how that big clack was. It's called a kicker. That's what I love about Gottlieb arcade games. Qbert was arguably the most famous one they made. They had a kicker in there, a pinball kicker. Like when Qbert would fall to the bottom of the pyramid when he fell off screen. You hear that there. Yeah. Because they actually put a kicker there in the bottom of the cabinet, which was kind of cool, I have to admit. Anyway. Oh, I love that game. That will be a future arcade versus console, by the way. There's plenty of home versions to look at for that one. But sadly, you know what? My favorite arcade title is going to the vanity table. My favorite arcade title does not get a home arcade versus console because there just simply are not that many home ports. Galaga. They had an Atari 7800 version. And years later, an NES. I mean, it's not really... Ah, beautiful. I love the music of this. Here you go. Ah, 2 replays, yes. I did not get another one. Oh, let's pause that right there. Woohoo! So, having said that, let's look at the home version of this game. What? Yes, there is a home version. As hard as it can be to even fathom, Rare coined it through Nintendo, made Pinbot for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, like I said before, if any company is going to do it, this one will. They have... Oh, wow, just turn that down. Forgot it loads right on up. Alright, I'm going to pause that for a second. We'll reset it in just a sec. But if any company is going to do it, it would be Rare. Because they're just simply that good. Now, it's funny, prior to this, Nintendo had Rare... Rare was a developer for a company called Game Tech. And they were responsible for all those game show games for your Nintendo and for the PC and whatever. And so if you wanted to play Card Sharks or guess what, Pyramid, Concentration, Family Feud, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, certainly 2 of the more popular ones. It came boo. It came from Game Tech through Rare Coin. Even Double Dare had a Nintendo Entertainment game. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Believe it or not. Was it any good? What's that? Believe it. That was Jack Palance. Yes, believe it or not. Believe it or not. There it is. I have the sound moist. Randy's not a big fan. I'm sorry. She's not a big fan of Jack Palance. Yeah, I made a major error, and if anyone caught it, ignore it. All right, let's go ahead and read. Let's do that. There we go. Ta-da! Now, one of the neater games Rare made over the years was Battletoads. Yeah, figure that one out, folks. She kind of looked like from Bride of Pinbot. Not quite. And the music that you heard, by the way, was literally the vanity table music. So they split the screen to kind of, so you still see your flippers at all times. Open the visor. Did I? Oh, wow. That's interesting. Oops. Good 1,000 point bonus. Yep, the visor is indeed open. It's so much different playing. Honestly, they're quite generous with the ball physics there. It's almost like gravity is non-existent. Okay, wrong one. But considering that there's really no precedence to this, literally making an actual pinball table into a video game. Okay, double score. Here comes the multi-ball. Oh, and just like the arcade, just like the table, it goes right down the side exit. I got the energy. Oh, stay there. Go. Nope. No one shot for the visor this time. Here goes my multiplier. Come on, go down. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Vortex now is at 3 times. I got a double there when I got the multi-ball. Or heading towards multi-ball. Now they did add some extra features to this that were not in the table. For example, like a flying spaceship that will destroy one of your flippers if you get advanced enough or high enough in score or in goals. Which I didn't necessarily care for because I do like something of realism, I guess, in the facsimile of this table here. 4 times on the Vortex. Oh, can't get that 100,000. Save my life. Not on this one. No! Ah. Yep. Oh, I got it. I advanced one. Yep, advance to the sun. That's a special. But every advancement, good job. Every advancement is worth 200,000 points, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, got 50,000 for that. Plus it adds to the energy bonus on a solar eclipse. Oh. Oh well. There you go, 150. Now that's much better. Much better. Yep, advance 2. Excellent. Third and final ball. Here we go. Yep, 20,000. Ta-da. Oh. Alright. Now, I believe the missus here said you did have one. You did have the NES version, right? Yeah. It sold fairly well, believe it or not. It was actually, I mean, normally something like this is so fish out of water as far as, video gaming. Don't see too many pinball titles in general back in these days. The only one I can think of off the top of my head was Dave's Midnight Magic, which was made by Broderbund. Never heard of it, I'm not surprised. Made it for the Apple computers. Atari 2600 had a version of it. Oh, I made 3. Excellent. Then, of course, Pinball from Nintendo. Game over. Rather glorious game over, too. Look at that. Oh, that looks so neat. Ah. Oh, yeah, I do, too. It was always... Oh, I can. Okay. I am 8th. Yay! Rare did a good job. Rare was great at just about everything they did, in my opinion. I've always loved them. One more. What the hair? It's 147? We got time. It's Christmas Eve. Screw it. I love Christmas Eve. There we go. Energy value is shot way up there. Oh, missed it. Oh, come. No one hit. Boo. Are you kidding? It always does that. 6,000. Alright. Shall we get going? Woo. Now let me ask you a question. Did you buy it yourself, or did you was it a gift? Yeah. Bought it yourself? Yeah. Because no one thinks that, oh, this would be the perfect gift for a little packy. It doesn't work that way. Likes to go down the chute. How about that? Yeah, I will. It sounded bad. It did. Yes. But oh, Packy? Yes, that's my initials. PAC. No, when my folks never got me this game, I bought it myself because I just happen to love Pinbot. Oh my God, Pinbot for the Nintendo Entertainment System! Sign me up! Give me it now! And I did. I went and bought it, and I actually loved it. I thought it was fantastic. So years down the road, rather. I never thought, 30 plus years later, let's do a comparison from the table to the home console version. Show the world this, or show the internet this. Oh, yep, yay! Oh, that one up there, of course. Come on. That should have lit it. It did. Excellent. I got a visor open. Now, getting it in there, that's the catch. There you go. Okay. One more to multi-ball. I can do it. I can do it. Ah! Oh, I don't get to do that too often. There it goes. Yes. My poor old voice doesn't do falsetto much anymore, sadly. Oh, why do you always go down the side exit? Why? Ah! Like I said, Nintendo did have Pinball. And that was an arcade game, by the way. Believe it or not. But it was okay. Well, quite contrived. For this one here is based off of an actual pinball table. Now, TurboGrafx, they actually had a couple of pinball tables that were really, really cool. One of them was Alien Crush. Damn. One of them was Alien Crush, and it was modeled after the Xenomorphs of Alien. And another one was called Devil's Crush, which was not modeled after Xenomorphs, but something a bit more sinister, per se. Both were excellent. Both were done by Xanaxsoft. I believe for the Sega Genesis, the Devil's Curse was Dragon's Fury. An excellent translation from Tengen, which was Atari. I believe was that my last ball? I think it was. These nuts. Yep, that was it. Ah. I love this table. Now, did I get a vanity table score? I don't think I did. I did. Oh, wow. Generous. Yep. Yay! Absolutely, this does stack up against the arcade table. Wonderful to play once you get it down. Like I said, the only thing I have issue with is that they're rather generous with the gravity on the pinball itself. That is a very waxed table. Now, my favorite pinball story of all time has nothing to do with pinball itself. It has to do with my brother's workplace. So, just like with any establishment, any business, you'll have printers, you have to write reports and stuff like that, print them out, etc. So, my brother's boss was having a problem with the printer, and it looked like the paper was getting jammed into the printer, okay, and it looked like the rollers needed cleaning. So, he looks around and he grabs this bottle from Elsie's workstation, and he went and cleaned the rollers with it. And then all of a sudden, it got even worse. And so Elsie's like coming in there because now Jerry's kicking the machine at the printer right and left. And my brother's like, "What's going on?" I said, "This printer is not working. I cleaned the rollers. It's not doing anything." "Well, what'd you clean it with?" He cleaned it with pinball polish, probably the most slippery substance known to man. And because they were polished with that, there was no traction whatsoever on those rubber rollers to grab the paper. He literally defeated the purpose of the rollers themselves. It was glorious. Just to show you, just because it's polished doesn't mean it's a cleaner. And that was not exactly a cool story. Uncool story, bro. It sure was. I'll take it. We'll be right back.
Hi,
Alrighty. Hello there. Oh, it can pick me up. See the meter there? Say hi to Twitch.
Hi to Twitch.
There you go. Hi to Twitch. It's that simple. This is my wife. She and I were in this video, along with our mothers. You can't really hear them too well because they're sitting in the back seat, but we decided to do what we call Light Looking Monthly. This is an annual thing, where it's 1 month per year, oddly enough, but it's a good month. And what happens here is that, well, everyone likes to decorate their house. At least a lot of people like to decorate their house for the holidays, and we are the people who you see in the cars moving really, really slow.
I'm the judgy one.
And the judgy one. Now, you're not going to hear a lot of our commentary because we actually, unfortunately, played some music that is not quite compliant with copyright and stuff like that, so we had to remove, well, unfortunately, all that. But we do have some moments where there's a bit of silence where you do hear us. So
Yes.
let me go ahead and put up in the chatting. Did I put it in capture? I did not. Start it right. It's TV. That off so you don't see the cursor. There we are. And here's a preview. Oh my goodness. Ready?
Hi, here's my tonsil. Ah. Jingle bells,
Hello, doggy. I see you.
jingle
Oh,
bells,
it picked me up. See, obviously it does pick me up.
jingle
I see that.
all the way.
I wish the frame rate were a little bit better, but that's what we got.
The promising
Well, I'm the camera person, so.
You are the camera person. I'm the driver. And there's our house. A lot of kaleidoscope lights. And those two snowflakes there, they are so damn bright.
because I am filming it
You can actually see them all the way down the street.
Oh, I'm doing all right here. Yeah. I hadn't even had anything to drink.
Oh my goodness. Well, you're doing fine here. I'm looking at the monitor here. So that we will take off. Trying to get everything back. There we go. Bye-bye, Housey. We'll see you in a bit.
Now, I've watched streams before, but I've never been streaming before. So, hello, this is my first time.
Hello. Yes, you guys are doing really good. This is our neighborhood. We live in one of those communities where all the houses look the same and everything like that. That's fine.
It's Florida.
That's Florida. That's where we live. And we have some nice, neighbors. We have some so-so neighbors.
Oh, my hand came out really well there. Did you see that?
Let's see that. There's a corner as we head out our little community and go explore the world. Or Florida. Which kind of is the world. Yeah, it's going to pick all that up.
No, it's not. My very untraveled
Yeah, I've
southern hubby.
never left America. That's right. I've left the state of Florida, but I've never left America. Alright. There's some really nice decorations this year, I have to admit.
Yeah, there are.
See, I'm not as judgy. My wife, on the other hand,
I judge. If you don't have enough blue, you're not good enough for me.
there you go.
I'm not a red and gold type of person. I'm more of a white and blue, silver and blue.
Silver blue, okay. Nevertheless. You see the multicolor here that you see on the screen now? That's not bad at all. I like that. A lot of work. Really? That's a lot of effort there.
Main Street, Disney World.
But look at it.
That's blue. That was nice.
That is
Yes,
nice.
he got points.
We have some terms for this too. Those laser beam things. People point out their house and trees. We call them sneezes. Especially when that's all they use. That's pretty nice. I like that.
Actually, I mean, that's nice.
Looks okay. Those are projectors. Are pretty cool.
Depends on what they're projecting.
Well, they're projecting Christmas images. Not we want something like Star Trek 2. That's the thing. Lay down, Mace. Almost done. Almost done.
Intermission!
Not quite. That's busy. That's busy. I'm not a big fan of those, I have to admit. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Multicolors. Yes, perfect.
And I used to do the roof lights myself, but I can't do that anymore.
Roof lights are unnecessary.
Not a big fan of ladders.
That's mixed. That's not bad. Sorry about the camera work. I was filming on a dash cam, holding it in my hand.
Not quite,
Was I?
not quite GoPro. It's the dash cam that saved our bacon earlier this year, I have to admit.
Yes,
But
that's another story. That one was
another
nice.
story for another day, yep. No, there were some nice houses.
Yeah, there were. But as you can see in Florida, most houses are all white.
I want those white.
It's because the sun's out most of the day.
Ones.
Actually, they're all bleached.
Get the largest one I can find and just hang out in the garage. There, what the hell?
All faded. There's your admission. Well, I kind of like that one. I kept that one in there because it's just a transition of moving from area to area. There you go. I had a pretty good time doing this, I have to admit.
Yes. Also have to admit, on my part, sound was removed due to inappropriate comments.
There were a few.
Just
Not only from my wonderful wife, but myself and our mothers. And it's just that sometimes people, well,
you know.
you know. You would think this time of the year, let's put it this way, you think this time of the year people would behave themselves. They used to, but not so much anymore. And we'll leave it at that.
I am really bad on this cat. Oh!
Well, I had to do a lot of editing, I have to admit.
I hope you people don't need a Dramamine after this.
There was a few of them that you kind of gave me a seasick here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I will say your choice of music is a bit odd.
It won't give me a copyright strike, put it that way.
I know.
It's one of the rare times I don't put up my own music.
That's not your music?
That's not my music, no.
Ooh. One time, while being very judgy, we were driving down the road and all the houses looked like they belonged on Main Street, USA,
Yeah.
at Disney World.
Almost looked like the same person put up all the decorations.
And
Yeah, in the trees they don't look so bad.
I was lamenting about that, and I turned around and saw this massive, massive tree in the window, and what did I say?
Oh my god, look at that tree!
Why is it so white?
And she was like, oh my god, all the lights are the same, and they're all, oh my god, look at that tree!
Little outdoor lights that look like flames.
And they never let me live it down. Well, that was not too bad.
That's not too bad at all. There's some really nice houses here.
There were.
Yeah.
There's a really nice house close down to the beach in Fort Lauderdale we didn't get to this year. We have a bit of a problem getting around.
These days, yes.
Yeah.
Right, so.
I do have to say though, even if you do have the white lights up and they're... Now that was nice. That's the reason for the season. But as I was saying, if you do have the white lights up and you've put them on your roof and gone on your ladders to do that, That's a lot of work. However, get an imagination.
Really?
Okay, sorry.
Really?
Sorry.
Wow.
I told you I'm the judgy one.
Well, I can understand when people just merely change the color of the bulbs in their garage.
Oh, there, I like
Oh, there
that
you
one,
go.
that the tree. That house actually had a light-up octopus. I don't think we went around by the octopus side, but it had a light-up
I
octopus.
don't believe I caught that. No.
Only in Florida. Octopi and flamingos.
Flamingos, occasionally seahorses,
And palm trees.
and Millennium Falcons, and AT-ATs.
Oh, I don't object to that.
Nothing screams Christmas like an AT-AT.
I have a Godzilla ornament.
I have a Megatron ornament. Which part?
I bought it for you.
The one
Yeah.
here, Flash.
No, I think I'm going to mention that in the commentary that I kept about a particular ornament that is a Hallmark keepsake ornament, but it's so macabre for what it was that I cannot believe it is indeed an ornament. If I don't mention it here, I'll mention it at the end. I swear I kept that.
You probably did.
No, you know which one I'm talking about.
I do. I bought that one for you too.
I think you had a better service with her.
Now some of you may be wondering why there's a blue light in our car. That's because our car is kitted out with blue lights. And other things, yes. They actually change color, but we keep them on that. Well,
It's nice.
the hubby does.
That's nice.
And it was.
Too bad we had a car behind us at that one.
Yeah.
Hey, nice, how by? There you go. Like I said, there were some really nice houses here.
There are.
Absolutely.
And once again, I can only apologize for my camera usage.
Remember when that guy had that big display over here?
Back in here.
Careful. The dogs are getting underfoot.
Come on, guys. Oh, pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah. Why? Good girl. Kiss. Yes. Give me a kiss. Thank you.
The doggos.
Doggos. I prefer them over humans from time to time.
Please enjoy this intermission.
Oh, how misogynistic.
That
So
house
where are
is
we now?
familiar. Were we not here last night?
Car. Okay.
Oh.
I can hear you. You can hear them too. Tell you what, you take over for a second. I'm gonna get them a treat there.
Alrighty.
Yep. Nice tree.
Guys, look what I got. Look what I got. Yeah. Oh yeah. Be right back.
Alright.
There's quite a bit of time left.
Oh, that's fine. Taking over the stream. Yes, I am.
Oh yeah.
Christmas ornaments that
And I wouldn't even know what to do.
are Godzilla,
Yeah, I know.
Fox, Death Scene, Star Trek.
This is something that...
Is a Hallmark keepsake ornament.
There you go. That's the most macabre ornament he could think of. Spock's death scene, which Hallmark did make. And I did buy him one for Christmas. Actually, it was pre-Christmas. But this is from the person who has a Godzilla ornament. And Godzilla has Mega Godzilla's head in his hand, and it screeches. We also have a Megatron. We have a whole bevy of geek ornaments for our tree. This year, not so much. with the new edition of Macy, it's kind of hard. But that's, that's the thing. But we do this every year. We go around, we drive around, we look at Christmas lights, we make silly comments. It's kind of fun. It's an annual sort of joy.
I apologize for the length of the video, but we had so much material.
You left me here alone!
I'm so sorry. You can handle it. You're good at this.
Not so much. Not so much. I can learn. Perhaps this would be a good time to announce that following next year, at least once a month, I'll be joining Super Pac Jr. in the feature, Can My Wife Play It?
Yes. We're
And
trying to develop here.
that'll be quite interesting because while there are some video games that I'm quite good at, like Zelda, there are other video games that I'm not so quite good at, like Donkey Kong and even Pac-Man and other older games. But it...
You do very good at the game Kicks.
Yes, Quicks, yes, absolutely. I'm very good at the line game. I color them in. I do very well. I've beat my husband at that several times, so while you're enjoying that, we can talk about what's going to be coming up with the Super Pac Jr. stream, and that will be one. We hope you'll enjoy it. Like the Can My Wife Play It is going to be quite interesting because there really isn't much that I can play. So we shall see on how much I can play, and then
I'll take over one of the RPG segments, so they'll be integrated into it. Still be doing a bit of RPGing, but we'll also do a little bit of challenging.
yeah,
Of course, arcade versus console. There are plenty of games back in that era. Plenty.
that's
I
probably
got Defender.
that's probably where we'll fit that in the arcade versus console,
Yeah.
because those will be the games to play.
Depends what game I have. Depends
Well,
what game we're doing.
yeah, but things like Crystallis and other things I'm not that great at. Well, I shouldn't say that because Crystallis does remind me a lot of Zelda. So,
Yeah.
very good at Zelda. Very good at Zelda, I have to admit. The Ocarina of Time's
Never
my...
mind.
Oh, Ocarina of Time, yes. And there is the Golden Axe, which I quite enjoy. And that other one I never remember the name of.
Golden Axe? Was it like Golden Axe?
It was the one with the werewolf. Welcome to you.
Altered Beast.
Altered Beast, that's it.
There is a lousy home version of it. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah. My systems were, I had, of course, the Atari 2600. I had the Sega Master System and the Genesis, the Master System, and the Nintendo Entertainment System, handheld Game Boy, and Atari Lynx, and the Sega Game Gear.
Yeah, I'm impressed you had the Atari Lynx. Not too many people had one of those.
Yes, well, I won't mention who actually had it, but I played it. And
Well, now you got one again.
yes, and of course, my favorite was the Sega Game Gear, and I'm great at columns. Great at columns.
That's going to be one of the challenges.
Oh, and of course there's Clacks for the Lynx, which I was pretty good at.
Clacks.
Clacks.
That's an easily
Clacks.
good
Wave.
game, too.
Yeah. Game Boy games. I've had quite a bit, but not recently. Although in our home we do have the Nintendo Wii, the Switch, PS5, a PSP, no PS4, a PSP, a PS3, a PS2,
A PS1.
and yes, that's.
Partridge in a pear tree.
And I hope you're enjoying this little cruise around, as it were. I'm not nervous at all doing this. Oh, red, boo.
Well, you're the one who had the camera.
Yeah.
You're the one who had the camera. Don't.
Whoa, what the heck?
Right.
That
See,
is...
Santa's going to land on that house.
Aha. I'm talking more about the swinging of the camera.
Oh, yes. Anyway.
Eventually. When I got my hand out of the way.
This is a bit of a delay. We can stop this anytime you want, by the way.
Whenever you do, it's your stream. Oh, busy house, busy house, busy house. was the shot I used as intermission whenever there really wasn't anything on the sides of the streets that I could use. Well, there were parties and nothing.
Oh, there were some, especially last night.
Yeah,
We kind of we did one of these on our own, but not for any. And there were a lot of people out.
oh yes.
Couldn't barely get the car through. Jeez.
But anyway, I just want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you celebrate. Of course, we all celebrate New Year's, but whatever it is, whichever holiday of this season that you celebrate, may it be joyous. May everyone have the best season possible. There are a few streamers that I myself watch that I know have had good streams, so I hope they continue, because I'd like to continue watching them and supporting them. And please feel free to subscribe, support the husband. Follow right now. Oh, why not?
I don't have enough followers.
Oh, follow. Hurry up, people. Follow.
I'm just getting started.
Yes, just getting started. And
as I said, I'm a gamer who's been doing this for over 45 years as far as gaming is concerned, but I'm brand new to Twitch. I haven't had this experience.
He's old.
I'm old.
But I'm older, so I like that one. Oh yes, lots of color. I love color.
So you're not too cold, I can roll the window up.
Ever since they got out LED lights,
Mm.
I have to admit, it's literally changed everything.
But I will say this: old-fashioned lights. Old-fashioned lights. I love the old-fashioned lights.
Push for help. When the police come. Yeah.
Hi, Mace. You're out.
And on this note, and on this particular high, I'm going to turn this on over to Super Pack. Hope you guys all have the best holiday season possible. Look forward to featuring myself a little more with him in Can My Wife Play It? It should be a blast.
Now, we haven't really established your name unless they actually listen to a little folk talk. We have a name for you?
Oh, wow.
A name for me?
I asked you first.
You don't know my name?
Well, a name that we can call you.
I can be called London Lass.
There you go. Okay.
So,
London Last.
absolutely.
You're one of my viewers.
I am one of your viewers. I do chat you. Yes.
I appreciate your support.
I support my husband 100%. So for those of you seeing this who may know that name, you can see me in chatting along in How to Be Quiet, Dixie Chris, Lollipop GI, Pants of Blue. All wonderful streamers. I love them all, and I will be in there in and out. And please help support Super Pack Jr. here, because he deserves it. So, and he's my husband, so I have to say that. My American husband, yes, my very American husband, who's never been anywhere outside the United States. He is a Florida cracker. I am anything but a cracker. I've lived in several places. Yeah, well, it's natives. Anyway, here's Pac-Man. Thank you for putting up with me and my lousy camera things. TTFN.
TTFN. Thank you. All right, I'll take the headset. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm tripping all over the wires here. Yes. It's one of the reasons why we don't have a camera yet. I will get a camera soon, one of these days.
Look at Brent's face.
Yes.
That's cool.
Oh, cool
Yep.
indeed.
That's my office computer. What can I say? All right. Oh, good heavens. Thank you very much, London Lass. Appreciate it. And hello there.
A Dixie Chris Mickey.
See how much time we have left. Got about 5 minutes left according to the video. That's fine. We'll just let it run through. I have to admit, having been a native of South Florida all my life, yes, I have not been out of the country. I've been in several states, but this is my primary residence. So right now, by the way, it's 52 degrees outside? 50? I'll take it. Unfortunately, it's not as cold as other places throughout the United States. That's definitely a fact, but this is our first real blast of actual winter-like temperatures in a winter season. that just got started. So I'm quite thrilled about that. Because down here, we have AC. Boy, do we have AC. We need it. We haven't had a really, really cold winter since about 2010. And it almost snowed down here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, indeed. Thanks.
Nice. Nice.
Nice. That is pretty. You see that right there. Gorgeous. We call some of this decorating wars. I'm here to say hello. Thank you, London Lass. Appreciate it. He sits 6 feet away from me. Well, there's that myth. All right, so anyway, appreciate you dropping by. Appreciate the chat. I haven't had a whole lot of chats. I have not had a whole lot of viewers. I've had a couple of people chat with me. I really do appreciate that. I've only been doing this for about 2 or 3 months now, and it's a lot of work. I have to admit, it's a lot of fun. I love preparing the things that we're going to be talking about, or at least what I'll be playing as well, and the history. The video games has such a strange, colorful history, especially in the early days when I first got playing, where nobody knew what the hell they were doing. Everything was by the seat of their pants, and sometimes too much of a good thing. TTFN until we meet again. Well, that'll probably be, I don't know, right after stream. But retro gaming is a unique thing as far as other type of retros, because the advancement. I mean, you buy a car. My dad was a mechanic for about 300 years, and the thing that makes the engine and the thing that makes the transmission and brakes and the wheel and all that kind of stuff, yeah, they're all computer controlled, but they're still basically the same thing. You still have pistons, you still have the intermix chamber and all that kind of stuff. Yay. That hasn't changed. Video games have changed so damn much over the years. They really have. From just sticking a cartridge into a console to downloading it off your computer, playing it on your phone. And yet these old classics like Donkey Kong, which we played earlier today, and Pac-Man, we played a couple of weeks back, they're still around. They're still beloved. And they still get attention. And that's what I love about this. And thanks to Nintendo for keeping that kind of stuff alive, because they're the best marketers in the world. As I said, they take the same game over and over again and just market the hell out of it. That's the end of our video here.
And thus this concludes the light-looking monthly, light-looking night, whatever the hell it is. This is going to be edited anyway.
Yes, it will be. Oh, it was. Oh, it was edited. Oh, boy, was it. Oh, man. Like I said, we had some music playing in the background. Oopsie. Can't do that. Anyway. Okay, say goodnight, Gracie. Got some music acknowledgements here, because I did not. This is not my own music for once. It's Lofty Geek. Wonderful YouTube channel. There it is. Check it out. Excellent work. And a little bit at the beginning. Happy holidays. Thank you very much for catching up. That's Pinbot again. Yeah, the thing from the Android. Thank you very, very much for checking us out today. This, of course, will be tomorrow's Christmas. So there's no stream there. There is a stream, however. Apparently, Let's Game It Out is streaming tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern. Check that out. He just put out a beautiful, wonderfully hilarious video of Hydroneer. You don't need me to tell you that. You probably have already seen it, like I have 3-4 times already. Lollipop Jai is now live, and let me see if I can get that real quickly onto my dashboard. Real quickly. I'm going to do a dreaded raid. Alrighty. There we go. Absolutely. Get both of my viewers. Thank you all for watching me. I appreciate it. In the meantime, the Superfact Jr., have a good holiday. Be safe. And we'll catch you again on Monday. Take care. Oh, it won't let me do it. All right, cool. Well, how about that? We'll just end the stream then. You take care. Have a good night. Have a good day. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. TTFN.
Happy Crimbo!
Last year of the week. Starting tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Last week of the year. What did I just say? Oh, last year of the week. That's me. Oh my goodness. I am a walking embodiment of spoonerisms. Paul Winchell got away with it so easily, but not me. Y'all take care.